Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 5.5 on functions. So what is a function? Basically, it's an input-output machine. So as you put in an input, it will output some possible value, and specifically only one possible output. Okay? So what is a function compared to what is not a function? Let's just look at a whole bunch of examples and go from there. So here we have a table of values, two different table of values. We have a unique x everywhere. So since it is unique and they all go to an output, that is a function. I will say that a better example is even maybe if I put a 4 here. It's still a function if the y values repeat. Okay, it's still a function, but it's not a function if the x values repeat and go to different y values. Okay, so this here is not a function because the y values, or the x values repeated, sorry. Okay, same thing again with ordered pairs, but we've got x comma y. So you can see here that the x values repeat going to different y values. This one's not a function. Here the x values are all individually different, so it is a function. Okay, now we can use the vertical line test, and unfortunately, I can't show a ruler on here. My tablet can show a ruler, but that's fine. We can do a vertical line test just by maybe doing that. And then can I just grab it in the middle? I think I can. Yes, I can. Awesome. So if you pull a line or pencil or whatever across your graph, you should see that it will always only hit in one location. So this one is a function. Okay? This next one, on the other hand, if you pull it across your graph, you can see it hits in more than one location. So in this case, 2 locations everywhere over here. So if it ever hits in more than one location, then it is not a function. So this one's not a function. Okay, now let's look at this next one. Again, it hits in more than one spot. So this one is not a function. Okay, this next one here, if you pull it across, it's always only going to hit in one spot. So this one is a function. And finally, this last one here, if you look, it's hitting in many places, so it is clearly not a function. So you just do the vertical line test to check that. Okay, continuing on to these questions, this is where it really gets a little bit more challenging or whatever. Function notation. So what happens is we write the function out like this. So we say f of x. So f is the function, and it's using x as the input. So actually, I'll write it like this: input. Let's do it this way, actually. Function, okay, which in this case is f, input, which in this case is x, and then the output. Okay, so usually, like the way we wrote it here, the 2x plus 3 is the output, which is kind of like saying the y value. So f of x, another way of saying this is kind of like saying y, right? So the y value is the output. Okay, so find f of 2. So what we do is we write f of 2, and because we replaced the x with the 2 there, we have to replace the x with a 2 everywhere. So you can see in brackets, that's where I put the x. Okay, then, simply you have to solve it. So 4, so 7, and that would be your final answer. Okay, let's try the next one here. Now this is the opposite. It says if f of x equals 1, find x. So f of x equals 1, but it also equals what it says over there, 2x plus 3. So now we can just use regular algebra to solve this. So we're going to get the x by itself using opposite operators, opposite bedmass. So we're going to minus 3 on both sides. Then we're going to divide by 2 on both sides, and so x equals -1. Okay, continuing on for our last two examples, I recommend you pause the video now and try this yourself. Okay, and then press play when you're ready. All right, so g of -3. So instead of writing x, I'm going to write bracket -3 bracket, just like I had over there beside the g. Okay, then I'm going to multiply all this. I get 12 plus 5, I get 17. So g of -3 equals 17. Okay, this next one is reversed. So we do g of x equals 30, but it also equals -4x plus 5. So now we just look at this portion, and we do opposite operators, opposite bedmass, until we solve for x. So we're going to subtract by 5 on both sides. Okay, and now we're going to divide by 4 on both sides, by -4, sorry, on both sides, and we end up with this fraction here, which you could have. All right, so that is the general gist of what a function is, what a function isn't, and a little bit of function notation. I hope that video helped you better understand functions, and good luck.